Hi, everybody. Welcome in to this week's episode of Tequila Helps. If you're watching on YouTube, that's what I'm wearing.
Or champagne dreams.
I do have champagne dreams.
Me too. Me too.
I feel like we just recorded, so I don't have a ton to update everybody on about my week, but Taylor has a lot of pop culture for us to discuss.
Yes. The only update I have about my week is it was Moon Circle week. I am dead tired today. If you're watching on YouTube, my eyes very tired. My hair needs to be washed. We're just ignoring it.
The glitter on her face is from the strip club.
I forgot about this strip club glitter from cheerleading. I didn't want to wash it off because I'm lazy. So
Yeah, we had cheerleading competition today, and I think that's part of why we're tired is we sat there for hours. Just chilling, and we ate some nasty ass food at the concessions just because we were bored, and I think that really played into how exhausted we are.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very, very tired. Okay. Pop culture, we just start in there?
Well, first I want to talk about Spidey.
Okay.
I don't know. I was just gonna say, does everyone know who Spidey is? You can't answer. Spidey.
I'm just like, no, they can't. I'm so tired.
Spidey is Spencer and Heidi from the Hills. I feel like this is very millennial of us to discuss them, but also they're having a comeback right now.
Yeah.
One time we also had a friend. We had a friend that we said looked and acted like Spidey, and she got so fucking offended and still
I forgot about that.
I mean, oh. I have a burn on my neck because I burned myself with my curling iron recently, which has like never happened to me, and I keep forgetting that it's there and it's peeling. And it's been really fucking with me all week, and I just scratched the shit out of it, and my nail just went underneath the skin. I want to throw up. I'm so sorry, everybody, but I'm sweating now, and I might puke. Oh, it burns. So sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone. Fuck it, I don't care. They should know. It's not a hickey. I'm not my son. Look at this shit. Anyways, this friend of ours was so offended. We called her Spidey, and honestly, they were so dramatic and like acted just like them and looked just like them. It was great.
Yeah, I forgot about
Anyways,
that.
that's who Spidey is, not our friend, the actual people from the hills.
Okay, here's the thing. Oh my gosh, you guys, welcome to No More TikTok Eve. I'm so sad. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
How will you get your information?
I don't know. I'm not gonna have anything to talk about anymore. Podcast is over after tomorrow. Bye. I am now a Spidey fan because of TikTok.
Why?
Because there's a account that like replays old episodes of The Hills.
You watched the whole episode?
Yeah.
On TikTok?
Yeah.
There's no time limit?
No.
I don't understand.
So I watch it, but there's like no commercial, so it's shorter. Anyways, I was always an LC fan on the Hills and Laguna Beach, and she's a bitch. Like watching it as an adult.
Asshole.
Yeah, but listen, I kind of like Heidi and Spencer, and I feel bad that their house burned down, but have you seen all the stuff about his crystals that like didn't burn?
No, but here's what I want to backtrack to before we dive into like why they're suddenly trending. I didn't hate or love them necessarily on the hills. What I did feel like is like he was kind of a dick, but I think he was like playing into the thing.
Yeah.
I don't like that she got all that plastic surgery and was like so unrecognizable. She seemed to have no identity and really needed to like heal herself as a person. And then I also watched them on like couples therapy. I can't remember what that show is called.
It's called Couples Therapy. I forgot
Is
about
that
that show.
That's what
Yeah.
it's called. Anyways, on MTV. And he really does have some fucking issues. And that shit kind of bothered me. His nasal voice always bothered me too. So I just feel like he's a bit of a fucking baby. I think he really wanted her to look a certain way, and she also had her own issues. Now I think it's gotten better that they've had kids. I think kids really like changed things for them both. But that's all I'm gonna say. I didn't have like a side necessarily, but I kind of thought he was a fucker.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't like the nicest guy on the hills, but Elsie was a bitch. She was.
Yeah, she was.
So they're trending right now because their house burned down and they've kind of not chronological, what's the word? Filmed it all for TikTok, like put it all on TikTok, like their whole process. But if you don't know, Spencer was like Pratt Daddy crystals, and none of his crystals burned in the house fire. Like he had really big ones and they broke, but they have no burn marks or anything on them. So he is going to make them into jewelry and sell them. And his crystals are kind of expensive, but you know, Homegirl is going to try to buy one because that's pretty cool. So none of his crystals in his whole house burned.
I have heard like people that got his crystals, like a lot of people that believe in this kind of stuff, they were like, his crystals are legit crystals. They're not like the fucking stuff you can buy on Amazon.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, they're really trending right now. And listen, I think it's really cute that every person that was on Laguna Beach in the Hills is like streaming Heidi's music.
Why are we streaming her
So
music?
she gets money because they don't have any money. So they did an interview with some news station talking about the fires, and they said so they were one of the people that like the insurance got canceled, and they were essentially house poor. So they get no money for their house. Like they are homeless, have no home.
I feel like I saw maybe someone posting or shared something too saying that like when her album came out, they almost like tried like all the people that stream music tried to not let her
Mm-hmm.
make the charts or something, so she got like botched somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this whole fucking like problem because they just like wanted to hate against her having music or
Yeah.
something like that.
I mean, her music's not good.
Okay,
It's
so
really
people are
not
just doing
good.
it so they can have money.
Yeah, because they have no money. They don't get any.
Welcome to the fucking real world, Spiedi. You
Yeah.
get a fucking different job. I'm sorry. Is this seriously the society we live in that we're like supporting this?
They don't have any money.
Go to fucking work somewhere else.
I mean,
What did
I
Kim
don't.
Kardashian say? Get up off your ass and go to fucking work.
But okay, this is actually an interesting like concept because if you have lived most of your adult life on reality TV and everyone kind of knows who you are, do you think you could go just get a job in the real world? Like,
I mean, sure, I'd be trying to like figure out what we could do to leverage something like they are doing, but also I'd be like, okay, if this doesn't work, I'd be fucking finding a job.
but
I would,
can you? Can
okay,
you though?
let me back the fuck up. I would have already probably had a different way of having money and not be like, is his crystals the only way they were making money?
Yeah, I think so. And like social media.
Okay. See, I would never put all my cards in one thing like that.
I wouldn't
In one
either.
eggs in one basket.
Eggs in one basket. I wouldn't either, but still, like, I feel like if you've lived a lot of your life on it, the biggest reality TV show at that time, and then all of a sudden, like, it ends and you're not as relevant, could you go get a job though? Because
Yeah.
obviously you still have a fan base. Like, there's this account that's doing like the whole episodes of The Hills that all these new kids are watching.
I would have
Like,
already had different money for sure.
I don't know. I don't
Because
know.
you can't trust social media to be your only
No,
income.
you
have
can't.
to like already have other stuff. Like I get it, but like I think maybe they just kind of live like dumbasses.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why everyone's streaming her music so that they can have
Yes.
money. And now she's getting fucking like charts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is just weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh. And that's it. That's all. That's why Pratt Daddy's blowing up on socials.
Mm-hmm.
What's he gonna do when TikTok goes away?
I have no
Because
idea.
Instagram's not the same.
I have no idea what any of these influencers are
That's one of
doing.
the things that's interesting to me. There's been some influencers that like don't really they have TikTok, but they're not like into it. They're still on Instagram. So like these people that like solely are TikTok people, like what are they gonna do? Is there another platform people are going to?
They're going to one that's called Red Note, is what I'm hearing, but it's like a full Chinese-based company. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing, and like it's all in Chinese, so people are like learning Mandarin Chinese, and I don't know. I think people are gonna go back to like YouTube and Instagram.
I mean, I'm an Instagram person, so
Yeah, I am too.
but I still would watch TikTok occasionally. Like it just wasn't all the time.
I watch TikTok every night.
I know Jaden, my son Jaden's like genuinely freaking out. I
Uh-huh.
asked him like, "What are you gonna do when this happens?" And he was like, "Honestly, when we went on a cruise, not this last one we went on a cruise like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have any service, and he literally like downloaded videos and was just like using them to scroll because like he has such a scroll, like he has like an addiction where he can't sleep unless it's like scrolling, which is so sad because so many kids are like this.
Yeah,
I feel. And
yeah.
even YouTube is a lot like this. Henley watches a lot of YouTube, and it's basically TikTok, but it's like friendly for kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. But he was like, dude, I don't know. Like, I'm starting to think like I need to start just mass downloading videos so that I can even sleep. And I was like, dude, this is This is fucking a problem.
Yeah, it is. It's really sad. I think it will be better for society as a whole,
But also
myself
not.
included.
It's like it's addictive, but like
I
there's a
get
lot of
I get
information.
all of my information from there. You can't trust like
I personally
news
like to laugh.
sources and
I
yeah.
like to laugh and there's funny TikToks and the reels on Instagram aren't the same
No,
and you
they're
can't
not.
speed them up, which
Oh, I hate
I
that.
really fucking hate a slow reel.
I do too. I speed up everything.
I mean,
So,
yeah, dude, sometimes when you're talking on the podcast or in your voice notes, you talk like you're on like 2 times speed. It's so weird. I'll hear it come through. I'm like, can you fucking slow down? Can I slow this down? Like, you sound like a fucking bot. It's so weird.
I do talk kind of fast
It's
though, just in
crazy.
general.
It's crazy. It's so crazy to me that you can do that.
I know.
I
I don't
talk
know.
fast too, but it's not like when you listen to your podcast and it starts going, I'm literally like,
I listen
I
to my
can't
podcast at 1.75
I
speed.
can't hear any of the words. And sometimes when you're speaking, I'm like, girl, what?
It's because I have ADD. I
I
can just
guess.
talk really fast.
I mean, I think we talked about it once on the podcast too. Like people with ADD, like you're when you read stuff, you skip every other word and you still know.
Yep, that's
Which
true.
like I can do that, but like speaking wise, I don't think it works that way. Or listening wise, it doesn't work
I
that
think
way.
I like can read really fast too because I can read like
I can read super fast, but I can't hear. I mean, there's certain things that I for sure speed up. Like my books, I usually always have sped up, but the level of yours is crazy
I
town.
know it's insane.
You're a freak.
I know I am a freak.
Okay, what else is in pop culture?
So I started this Jerry Springer documentary. I only watched the first episode
It's on Netflix, yes?
on Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so good.
What's it about?
It's about Jerry Springer and just like the history kind of talk shows and how Jerry Springer really like flipped the script. And I forgot how wild that show was.
Dude, I was watching that shit at like 8 years old.
I know. They literally on one episode had clan members.
Like crazy
Yeah.
stuff.
They had clan members, like KKK members on the show
Really?
with Jewish people, and they thought, so the first ever fight on Jerry Springer, fun fact with all my random knowledge that I have, the first ever fight on Jerry Springer was Klan members and Jewish people. And he was trying to get them to like talk on stage, just like have a conversation. And the Jewish guy punched the Klan member in the face. And they like got in this full out brawl. And Jerry and like the producers just let it happen. And it was like the biggest hit on TV. And it like made the ratings skyrocket. Isn't that insane? I was literally watching it at like 8 years old too.
Yeah, I was for sure. My friend would always have it on because like we'd always go to her house. Her mom was working and she was like my back neighbor. I would just call her my backdoor neighbor, but now that I'm saying that out loud, that seems stupid as fuck. Did you ever say backdoor neighbor?
Yeah, that's what they are.
But it wasn't like I stepped out my back door and she was right there. I like literally had to cross the street, like the block. Like, there was like a field between us.
Oh, no, I literally had like people on the other side of the fence.
I would call them the other fence people or something.
You're the freak.
I don't know. That's so weird. That was such a weird thing to say. Anyway, she's my backdoor neighbor. That sounds also dirty.
It kind of does. It kind of does.
But her mom was always at work, and so we'd go to her house and like always eat mac and cheese and shit. And Jerry Springer was always on, and we'd be sitting there like, I don't know how we were unsupervised now that I think about this. This is literally Henley's age. And we would watch this and we'd be like watching these fights and like all like there was swearing, all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah, it's wild.
A lot of baby mama drama.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. It was like a really crazy show.
I feel like Dr. Phil was also similar.
No, Dr. Phil
Not like
was more,
fights, but
yeah.
like, there was like a lot of like controversial.
Yeah, Mari was a big one too. That was like that one was all the paternity tests. And then my mom watched religion, watched Oprah like it was her religion.
I never watched Oprah.
Oh my gosh. Any meth episode. The reason why I'm so afraid of drugs is because my mom forced me to watch Oprah.
What was Oprah's show about?
Any and everything. Weight loss, not to do drugs, homeless people.
Like Ellen DeGeneres vibes or what?
Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres vibes. But my mom's obsessed with Oprah. Obsessed with Oprah. And literally any meth episode, she'd make me and my sister sit and watch it because you would like see why you shouldn't do drugs or do meth, and they'd like show like faces of meth and stuff. It was horrifying. It was horrifying.
It'd be interesting to watch that from my perspective because my parents were meth heads. My dad like went to prison. I'm pretty sure it was prison. Maybe it was just I think it was like a prison. For like having a meth lab.
Oh my
And
God.
I know. So like I always just knew drugs were bad, but like I don't know. I mean, they looked kind of normal.
Yeah, the people on Oprah
So
did not.
like it's like that makes me curious to see like what you saw compared to like me just knowing that they're bad
Yeah,
based off of my experience. But I
yeah.
bet I'd see it and be like, that's not what they look like. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I don't know. I literally, because it was showing like little snippets of like Oprah, and I was like, oh, I remember that episode. Like my mom, still to this day, is obsessed with Oprah. Reads her books, listens to her podcasts, all the
Isn't
things.
Oprah supposed to also be a terrible person though?
She is. She is. And
Is there a
anytime,
conspiracy around that
oh
that you're sharing with your
yeah.
mom?
Oh yeah. She does not want to hear it.
Mm.
She is very offended. Oprah's like her Jesus, for real.
Oh, dang.
So anyway, this documentary is very interesting. Only one episode. I am hoping to finish it
How
this
many
weekend.
episodes are
I
there?
think there's 3 or 4.
Okay, I got on Netflix last night for the first time in like what felt like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost watched that. I did start one about like people in prison, like death row inmates. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was like, okay, this is too serious for me. Like, I'm not in that headspace right now. I ended up just watching White Chicks because that's my
Mm-hmm.
OG movie and it's
Mm-hmm.
leaving Netflix soon. So if you love that movie and you don't own it, it's leaving Netflix. And that shit's so fucking funny.
It is.
So I wanted to watch that, the death row one, and then also I saw White Chicks, and you can't say no to White
You
Chicks.
can. But it's really funny because I love talk like the Tyra Banks talk show. I loved that talk show. I would record it
I
and
don't
I'd
know what
watch
that
it
is.
all the time. I loved it.
Tyra Banks in a talk show. She's so
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
But
God,
she didn't used to
when she
be.
fucking hosted Dancing with the
I
Stars,
know
I
she, it
wanted
was
to
bad.
literally
It was
like.
bad.
I used to watch America's Next Top Model. Like it
Hmm.
was my religion because I truly believed I was going to be a model.
That show was so toxic.
It
Watching it
was
as
so
an
toxic,
adult,
but she was
yeah.
actually normal on that, and I don't know what the fuck happened to her. She's
Yeah,
an idiot.
she
When she
is.
was on Dancing with the Stars as the TV host, she
Hmm.
fucking sucked and botched stuff all the time, and I was like, did you fucking die and come back as a bot? Like,
Yeah,
what's
she
happening?
was weird on Dancing with the Stars, but her talk show was top notch.
Really?
For real. So, but
I
it
miss
made
talk
me
shows.
it made me think that talk shows are like podcasts
They were.
in real life. Like,
Yeah, and like the podcast tours, it's the
it's a
same
talk
thing.
show. Yeah, I miss talk shows.
I want to do a podcast tour for our podcast so fucking bad. I literally write that in my journal, actually, my 10 things journal, that our
Hmm.
podcast goes on tour.
Yeah, that would be so
It'd be
fun.
so fun.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We have a lot to
So,
say.
yeah, I really miss talk shows. That was the whole point of that 20-minute long conversation about Jerry Springer.
Okay, what else is in the top 50?
Okay, so we didn't talk about this last week, and I'm so curious your thoughts about it. The Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, what's it called? Lawsuit.
Okay, my first thing I have to say is I'm really stressed about it. I've already shared this with you because I love It Ends With Us, the movie and the book. I haven't actually read the next book, but there should be another movie, and there's no way there can be another movie because is he in? I'm assuming he's in the next book.
He is, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so they can't have another movie because of all this drama. They're not going to have one, and that
No,
fucks with me.
no, I know.
I'm not
Same.
okay with that.
I like the second book way better than the first.
I really need to read it. I think I actually already have it. I just haven't read it.
It's really good. I,
So tell like what's your thoughts? Because he just barely filed his lawsuit, right?
yeah, like 150 pages lawsuit.
Honestly, I will say he gives bad vibes to me.
Really?
Mhm.
He doesn't to me. Did you watch Jane the Virgin that he was in?
No, but he looks like a fucking narcissist.
No way. I loved Jane the Virgin is one of my all-time favorite TV shows, but he's like the main guy in there, and I loved him in that. And that's why I was so excited for him to be in It Ends With Us because I loved him so much as Raphael. If you guys have watched Jane the Virgin, let me know. It's the best show ever. But I am 100% on his side. I really am.
Really?
Hmm.
I mean, he's hot as fuck and It Ends With Us. Like, okay, for sure. But he has, I don't know, there's something. Do you remember when we loved Rachel Hollis so much and you loved Dave Hollis?
Yeah, but I didn't love him.
I mean, you were like, he seems like a good guy. Like, I think he's a good guy. The second I saw Dave Hollis as a picture, I was like, this guy's got fucking
Hey,
problems.
but
And I feel that way
Justin,
about Justin. I feel like
Justin
he's a
has
psycho.
the receipts.
She has receipts.
She has none. She has none.
I thought they were in her lawsuit.
No.
I feel like there was messages.
There
And all
was
that stuff about his
altered
publicist.
messages.
What about his publicist?
Literally, she has no leg to stand on at all. Everything that she tried to say,
I don't think she would file this if she didn't have stuff. He
I
cares too much. Here's what I would say about Blake Lively. Blake Lively cares too much about her perception, her ego, her persona. I don't think she would file this if she didn't feel like she would win.
here's my thoughts, which you're not going to agree with this, and that's completely fine. Here is my thoughts of the whole thing, which I was a Blake Lively fan. I loved
I'm
her.
not a fan necessarily.
Oh, I loved her. I loved her.
I think
Remember
she's
my
pretty.
whole
I think she's really pretty.
shampoo debacle around my birthday that I wanted her shampoo so
I used to
bad?
try shampoo today.
Her dry shampoo was bomb though.
Smells good.
But anyway, I think that she thought if she filed a lawsuit, I think she didn't know that he had saved all of these videos, texts, snippets from the movie that she tried to lie about when they were actually filming. I think that she didn't know that he had all of this. And so she was going to file this lawsuit, claim sexual harassment, and have everyone be like, we believe you, like he sexually harassed you, blah, blah, blah. Get his name completely tarnished and then like move on from it so that she looked like the good person. I really think that she did not think that he saved everything. And then when he filed back and did this huge lawsuit, just got Taylor Swift involved in it, Ryan Reynolds is involved in it. Like he is suing everybody that has anything to do with her. And I
As a
think
narcissist would.
I don't know. He may be a narcissist, but
Dude,
I'm on his
he had the
side.
same fucking publicist as Johnny Depp and the whole fucking Amber Heard thing.
I know.
And that shit was a fucking scam. I was still on his side because I
Really?
would fuck Johnny Depp in a heartbeat. I don't
Ew.
care about fucking crazy things. Hell yeah.
Ew, he's gross.
Oh
Are
my God,
you
stop.
kidding?
100% I would.
Johnny
100%.
Depp?
Yes.
Oh my God, no. He's so
I'm
dirty.
telling you, this guy, he's fucking dirty.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think he's dirty, and I think there's a reason he's bringing all these people in because he is a narcissist, and I think he has bad energy. I don't like his vibes. I'm not supporting necessarily her vibes. I think that she's really fucking pretty, and I like her like aesthetic, I guess I would say. But like I just started watching Gossip Girl, and it also reminded me how much I fucking get so irritated
Serena's
by
the
her.
worst. Yeah.
I also just saw a thing today on TikTok that said that watching Gossip Girl now, we're all the same age as Serena's mom, Lily.
Oh
And
no.
I was like, I literally like my heart like kind of stopped and I was like, wait, I am Lily's age almost. Like I'm not because Lily's actually quite old in that show. But like you relate more to Lily
Oh
and
yeah.
like Rufus being hot than like any of the other. Rufus is gross. I just started episode 1 and 2 last night and I forgot about his fucking string that he had on his neck. He's so trashy.
You know who I like? Chuck Bass. I
Okay,
do.
but young Chuck Bass, no.
No, but
Later
older.
on, hell yeah.
Have you heard like his real accent?
Yes.
Oh, why did they make him change?
I don't know. Anyways, we're going on a tangent.
I can talk about Gossip Girl all day.
But anyways, watching that, I was like, okay, yeah, Blake has always bothered me. In what's that show with the traveling pants? The sister of the traveling pants. She always irritated me in that too. But I think she's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think she has good aesthetic. And I love Ryan Reynolds. Like.
Okay, but I think he's also a dick too. See, how you feel narcissist vibes about Justin, I feel that about Ryan and Blake. Really? I do. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't think she would do this if she didn't feel confident. I do feel like the fact that he has the same publicist as Johnny Depp and he has all these receipts and he has all this stuff, so did Johnny Depp, and all of it's actually pretty shitty. And I think he's a shitty guy. Here's the thing though. He wasn't going to say anything about any of the stuff that he had until. Because he's guilty. No, I don't think he is. I don't think he is. If you guys slept under the rug, he was going to walk away from it. No big deal. Honestly, if you guys are following this, please let me know. Let us know. Yeah. Let us know your input because I'm on Team Justin. I am. And I think Blake did some really shady things, which is very unfortunate. We will do a poll. I want to know as well. At the end of the day, I don't really care. I'm just upset about the movie not being made. And also, I think they both probably have something, but you can't go against fucking Taylor Swift. Taylor will fucking take his ass down, and I think his publicist agency, they seem like shady people. We all know my feelings about Taylor Swift, so I mean, I don't know necessarily if she's good or bad, but you can't go against her because she fucking rules the world.
I don't know. But that's all the pop
Justin
culture I have.
and
So
Blake. Okay. Got it down. We will post a poll. Very, very curious. I feel like there was one other thing on your list about pop culture. No? I thought I saw 3 things.
let me double check. Sorry, guys. Please hold.
Un momento.
Nope, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, other than that, this episode we wanted to talk about, so last episode we talked about reflecting on like 2024. This episode we want to talk a little bit more about 2025 and our vibes going into it, our intentions, our word of the year, the same stuff we always fucking do at the beginning of the year or end of the year. And then also our plans kind of like how we're approaching it. Usually we would do this in December, but we've shifted. We are now doing this in January, and I think we'll probably always do it in January moving forward.
Honestly, yeah. December's just too crazy.
For me, I did pick my word of the year. I actually had my word of the year picked. I would say it was like October. It kept like coming up for me, and I think it was like stuff I was seeing on social media, and it was stuff that like was really like hitting home to me, and I like already knew my word of the year really early on, which is really weird for me because normally I'm the last person, and Taylor actually just told me just barely that she picked hers yesterday. So we've kind of swapped.
Yeah, it's weird.
My word of the year is vulnerable. What's your word of the year?
Mine is trust.
Interesting. Cute.
Yeah.
What was your word of the year last year?
Intentional.
Oh, I thought it was vulnerable. I was like, no.
No, it was intentional.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that. My word of the year last year was embrace, which I for sure had to embrace the year. That was a crazy year. But this year, as I was like starting to get into the mindset of like the year ending, I also was like thinking about the fact that we're turning 35, which like, oh my God.
It's a lot.
It feels old.
It does. It does. Mid-30s. We're literally mid-30s.
Do not say it like that.
We are.
What?
It's so weird.
Ew.
It's so weird. Like, I feel like my life has gone so fast.
Mid-30s.
Uh-huh.
For me,
we're Lily Vanderwood's age.
She's not 35 in that show.
No, like her mom, like the mom's age is supposed to be, I think, 35.
No
we could have a freaking Serena right now.
No, they're like 15-year-olds. I only have a 9-year-old and technically a 19-year-old, but that's a different story.
I mean, if we
I think
had
she's 45,
kids,
50.
No.
Yeah.
No.
100%.
I'm Googling this. While you continue to talk, I'm Googling
I
this.
literally have kids at the age of 25.
Okay, if we
Lily
had
did
kids
not.
at 17.
Lily didn't.
But if we did,
Okay,
I'm
we're not
saying,
Lily.
okay, but let me Google this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What I was gonna say, so many controversies
I
today.
know. What's wrong with us? We can't do this when we're tired.
Anyways, what I was gonna say is like, so when we were going into turning 30, right before my 30th birthday, like probably a half a year into it, as I was getting ready to like start dealing with the fact, like I started to feel like a chapter was closing. I started to feel some energetic shift, something where I was like, oh my God, like I'm entering my 30s. So this started to feel very similar for me last year. What does it say?
So she's 40
Exactly.
in the show. Not in real life, but in the show she's supposed to be 40, but that's 5 years away.
That's still 5 years.
It goes fast.
Henley will be that age when I'm 40.
Okay. Makes sense.
Oh my God, okay.
I'm tired. I'm so tired.
So I started to feel energetically, I was like, oh my gosh, like something's like shifting in me, like internally, mentally, all of it, like something was shifting in me. And I didn't really like pinpoint it to the fact that I was turning 35, but then I started to also see a lot of, I think it was trending on social media, like where people are only living until they're like 70, 75. And when you're at like our age, it's probably all these fucking millennials stressing about their age, being like, oh my God, we're midway through our life. And that kind of started to trigger for me too, like, holy shit, like I'm halfway through my life basically. Like I'm already halfway and I only have this far, like I've already come. to keep living potentially. I plan to probably live longer. I don't actually want to be old like that, but like I'm pretty healthy and I think I'll probably live, I don't know, 85. I'm gonna guess. Hopefully, I don't want to go past that, to be honest. But I was like, oh shit, like I'm midway through life. So all of these things started to like kind of compound. And then I kept seeing all this stuff about being vulnerable. And like, if anyone knows me, I'm probably the least vulnerable person in our friend group. I'm open and I'm genuine and I'll always talk about something, but vulnerability is like, I don't know. I probably actually need to look up the actual definition of vulnerability because it probably made me throw up. But I don't think I'm usually vulnerable. I usually like put myself in a situation where I don't have to be vulnerable, or I fix something, or I plan something enough that I can like not be vulnerable. And I kept saying that for Leo's, vulnerability was going to be a big thing. And I think that was just when I was like, oh my God, my word of the year is vulnerable. Like I immediately knew like you're about to like be real fucking vulnerable next year. And it was really fucking weird for me.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with your word?
Okay, so usually I'm like Shelby and I have my word like way ahead of time. And all the end of last year, I just could not think of a word. I could not think of a word. But now, like now that I picked it, I look back and I'm like, oh, this has always been here. Like it's always been here, and I should have like paid attention more. Um, but even like into this new year, I'm like, hey, I want to make my vision board. And usually at the top of my vision board, I'll put like my word and then like my things underneath it. Sorry, the hiccups. The champagne is making me so hiccupy. It's like so bubbly. I know. Anyways, but I could not think of a word. Like I just could not think of a word. And last night before my moon circle, I did a run and I did who was it? Maddie Majacamo. And he just said, trust yourself. And it was like a fucking brick hit me in the head that I was like, this is the word. And so then I like, as I was finishing my run, because now I'm really learning that running is a very big, like mind clearing thing for me. So as I was running, I was thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, like so many wheels are turning in my life right now. And I just need to trust in the universe that this is all working out for me no matter what it is. I just need to trust. And it just felt so comfortable. And yeah, so thanks, Maddie Majacamo, for giving me my word.
Why do you think you were suddenly in a place where you weren't able to pick a word early on like you normally do?
Because what I have learned through therapy is I like to have like control of things. Like I like to create in my mind that I have control of things, but really I don't have control, if that makes sense. But putting all of my
Explain that to me again.
Okay. Like I'm not a control freak type of a person. I'm more of like a go with the flow person, but for some reason, like I don't know how to explain it. Brian, where are you? I don't know how to explain it. For some reason, I feel like I have control of things, even though I don't. But if I feel like I don't have control, it freaks me out.
I think that's super interesting that you say that because as someone who is a go with the flow person, you're always kind of winging it. Like you're always trusting that it's gonna work out because you're go with the flow. Like you don't give a fuck, you just go with it. That's interesting to me. Like that's why I needed you to explain that to me more because from my perspective, as a go with the flow person, like you just wing it and you're like, I trust that it's gonna be fine. So it's interesting to me that trust is your word.
Yeah.
Because typically you're just kind of like, sure. That's fine. I'll figure it out as we get there.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of me. So that's why I was like, wait, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. And Brian explains it much better. When I'm like actually a therapist, I need to figure out how to explain these things better. But he explains it really well. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Kind of my go with the flow attitude is me feeling like I have control when I don't have control.
I think it also stresses you out, like making decisions stress you out, or like having like instead of me being an Enneagram 1 where I'm like, I need to have everything laid out. It's a plan. I know what's going to happen. I have structure. I will always be ready to receive whatever's happening because I've already anticipated it. I've already thought forward. And you're the opposite because you're in that like free mindset. And so it's almost like you tell yourself that because you're just like, I don't, it's interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. So, anyways, and I think everything that's kind of happening this year is something that I'm going to have to trust is going to work out fine,
100%.
So
interesting. Well, For those who are wondering, like myself, the definition of vulnerable, which is wild now that I see it. What is the meaning of being vulnerable? Able to be easily physically or mentally hurt, influenced, or attacked, which is interesting that this is the word I'm choosing because I would never normally allow this. I've always had like a wall of, I've always, like I've said, like anticipated something to make sure to protect myself, and I've never like allowed myself to have like emotions or get hurt because it's like, nah, I already fucking moved on before you got here. I already anticipated it. Like, I'm done. So now that I hear this, I'm like, and it also says vulnerability is the quality of being easily hurt or attacked. Love this for myself.
Yeah.
Not really, but it is weird because as I'm like going through a lot of stuff, which I'll probably share more of in like the coming weeks, I really have allowed myself to be that. And I don't know when this shift happened or why it happened, but like I've been so open to it.
Yeah.
Which is super weird.
Yeah.
So strange. Okay, let me check my notes. What else? Do you have anything else you want to jump
about
into
my word?
Or 2025?
Oh, 2025, I really am just kind of going into it trusting. So, and this is the first year in a really long time that I haven't set like a ton of goals for myself and had
none.
Huh?
I haven't laid out a
Yeah,
goal,
like no.
Same.
No. I really
But I know
am
that I have
just
them.
yeah, I know too, but like I really am just leaving it all up to the universe and being like it'll be okay. Like I feel so okay about everything, but scared, but not. I just really am trusting this process.
That's what I think has been interesting for me going into this year is normally I would always be like, I'm gonna map out my months, like some certain goals that I have, some intentions I have, which I still know that I have them. But to be honest, like my life is a bit in a new stage than it's ever been in. And because of that, I don't have the capacity to like be rigid like I normally would. Like I don't have this year, and that's one of the things I was going to talk about is like this year is going to be completely different for me than it's ever been in my entire like adult life, I would say. Even having like Henley being a new mom, like all of those things, like this year is going to be completely different. And so for me to like try and map out certain goals or expectations or intentions that I want to have, like I know that I have goals, I know that I have intentions of like how I'm going to be, but I don't have this feeling that I need to map it out. Normally, I would have a note in my phone where it's like, this month I'm going to save this amount of money, and I'm going to do a no spend this, and I'm going to control this, and I'm going to plan this. And like, I was very, very like rigid. And this year, I'm kind of like, okay, I feel in control. And I'm gonna go with the flow. And I think throughout the year, I'll probably start to get more of that structure back. But it's been really strange entering January where I'm normally like, I did pull my cards for the year. That's one thing I did stick to.
Same,
where I pulled my tarot cards and mapped out like my year, which was like, fuck, that was a lot. But like that was one thing where I felt very connected of like I still want this, but I don't feel the need to really like dictate my entire like year or try and like be super rigid right now. I think you're kind of the same.
Yeah, yeah. On my birthday last year, my 34th
She
birthday.
takes some fucking time crazy. I don't even know what we would call it. It'd be like, what's that movie where they switch bodies? Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
I feel like she genuinely believes some weird fucking shit happened on her 34th birthday. I don't feel it. I can understand when she says it, but she genuinely is like, something fucking freaky happened on my
Something
birthday.
did. It was so weird.
Maybe I don't know. We did get in our first fight.
We got in our first fight, and that was our first fight of like how long we've been friends? Like 14 years? 13 years?
Something.
A long time. And we got in a fight and we don't even know what we were fighting about.
We know what we were fighting. I mean, I know what we were fighting about.
I don't.
Anyway, she thinks Freaky Friday happened, which maybe it did for her. For me, I don't know necessarily, but shit has been fucking different ever since. And
honestly,
not with us personally.
We
together.
drank way too much on my birthday. We went to the wine bar and we got in a fight at the wine bar, you and I. Not a fist fight, just like a words fight. I should probably clarify. I don't know how to punch. But anyways, ever since my birthday,
sorry, I almost spit my champagne out.
Ever since my birthday, I just have felt so different. Yes, something inside of me broke. No, not like we switched. Like something inside of me broke, and I'm not really sure exactly what it is yet, but like something in me changed. And I don't know what, I don't know how, I don't know.
I
Maybe
know
it was
what.
us fighting. I don't know.
What I would say without giving details, I said some Shelby shit to you.
I
Some
don't
like
know.
to your
But
core.
it was ever since I woke up that morning. Like,
Probably
even,
because I said stuff to your core that upset you, and then you got mad at me and said you never wanted to speak to me again. And you were like, wait, actually, she's my only true love, my codependency queen, and I don't know.
I don't know. But even like that whole week, I was like, dang, I'm not like excited
You
for
did
my
hate your
birthday.
birthday.
Like, I don't want it to come. Like, I don't know. I'm telling you, something weird happened. And then my silent retreat broke that, whatever it was, even more. And
When did you go on your silent
in
retreat?
October,
Okay.
the first weekend of October. So it was like my birthday happened. And then I don't know, like, and then my silent retreat happened. And it was just like, ever since that whole string of events, I just have felt
It's
very different.
so crazy that your silent retreat was also in October because that's
Mm-hmm.
when in October when I started to be like, oh shit, this is changing in my life next year.
Yeah.
And that's when I immediately knew, like, I can't remember exactly what thing it was. I mean, I have a couple ideas, but like I remember specifically coming home from Chicago. I went in October and it was the end of October, and I was like, oh damn, this is where I'm headed next year. And like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, maybe there's something to it in like the universe with us getting closer to turning 35. I do believe there's something with turning 35 though.
Yeah, I do too. I felt this before we turned 32, but not like
Not
as,
32, but
yeah,
30
30
as
as well.
well.
But not like as intense and heavy as this. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so what I would break down for you guys for myself about what I see for 2025 is so weird for me because not only am I being vulnerable, not only am I like allowing people to hurt and attack me apparently, which I don't know if I'm allowing that, but I'm allowing myself to feel, I guess, is what vulnerability
Mm-hmm.
means to me, is like allowing myself to be present and feel. What I started to establish at the end of last year is like I actually love myself, which is really fucking weird for me
Mm-hmm.
because I've never put myself first. I've never had like this sense of like love or respect for myself, which is also really fucking sad if you think about it. And I honestly credit Judy, the fucking witch that we see.
Mm-hmm.
Her energy work, I think, has done something to me where I'm starting to be like, wait, I matter. And towards the end of last year, I started to be like, wait, I have been in a stage of like not caring for myself or putting myself first or anything. I literally have lived my life up until 34 for everybody else. I lived it for my sisters. I lived it for my brother. I lived it for my grandparents. I lived it for my parents. I lived it for Wally. I lived it for Henley. I lived it for Jaden. Not once in the history of me actually like ever thinking back have I ever lived my life for myself, which is so fucking weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if most people feel this way. I don't know if this is like the pressures that life and society put on you. But going to Judy, which most of the time we are just working on my face, something with her energy work completely changed me,
But
I think.
maybe that is what your face is holding on to.
She does think some of that, but also I think a lot of it is like I went to her because I like didn't love myself because of my face. And I mean still fucking same, but I think within that, I started to be like, wait, I actually don't care about myself regardless of my face. Because I'm still fucking dope. I know that. I have a lot of confidence for someone that doesn't fucking love themselves.
Yeah.
And then going to her suddenly started to make me be like, I should be my priority. Like other people, other pressures, like I will always figure it out. Life will always be fine because I know that about myself. But like, why am I putting myself at the very fucking bottom? So I think that's where my word came from. That's where my 2025 journey is going to go, is where, I mean, it started last year where I started to be like, wait, all of these things are unacceptable in my life and I'm going to change them. But it came back to just loving myself, which is
Yeah.
really weird
Yeah.
for me.
I love that though. I love that. And I'm happy that you're going on this journey, even though it's hard.
Yeah, shit's gonna be fucking whack this year. I don't think anyone's really expecting things that are gonna happen for me. Even myself didn't expect them. With like loving myself though too, I I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is like my boundaries, which I've always had like boundaries, but they were always boundaries that still put myself at the bottom. And somehow lately, my boundaries are only about myself. I feel very fucking baby narcissist.
No, not at all.
Which isn't true, but it feels that way because it's not normal for me. But like I've noticed my boundaries are very high. And also my give a fucks, which already were low, I feel like are even higher, which makes me stressed because I'm a bit intense.
But you know what? Me and my therapist just talked about this a few weeks ago.
Thank God for Brian.
I know, thank God for Brian. He calls them the fuckets. Like, he's like, you have a serious case of the fuckets. And I was like, what's a fucket? And he was like, you just are not caring about, and not in like a bad way. Like, when I say this, it makes it sound like it's a bad way. Again, I just need to have him explain all of these things, but just like caring about yourself and not caring about what others are like thinking or trying to say or making you feel. You're just kind of like, fuck it. Like, I don't care, you know?
I mean, I think that's similar to like what I was just kind of saying, like it explains it better than what I was saying is like personally, normally I would be like putting myself last of like, oh, I can't make this decision or do this or have this boundary because that's going to impact this person and impact this person. And like, even if I put myself last, like I'll always be okay. Like I know I'm always gonna be okay because I'm always that kind of person. And now I'm kind of like, I don't give a fuck what people say about what I'm doing. Like I have like this new sense of self. It's really fucking weird. And like, I also just don't care about people's opinions. I already didn't care about them, but now I don't care even more. Like, I'm talking to more people in my super tight circle and like people that normally I talk to, I don't talk to them at all.
Yeah.
Because I just, buckets.
Yeah. Case of the fuckets. I like it.
Sorry, everyone, I need to pour this.
That was so focused.
Because the microphone's in the way. Okay, let me look at my notes about other stuff that I have. Okay, so I obviously am on like this huge like personal journey in 2025. I think this is also something I've noticed on social media is kind of like trending.
Everybody,
People
yeah.
our age are like doing the same things.
People our age and above. And
Yeah.
it's really interesting
It's
because,
powerful.
yeah, it's a lot of people at
taking power back.
Yeah, a lot of people at my job are doing the same thing and they're really struggling with it. And it's men and women. It's not just like one gender or the other. It's kind of a mix of both that they're like, it is time for me to choose myself. And I think it's really, really cool to see. Which is so okay. Do you remember when we went to that psychic in that salt cave?
Yeah.
Whenever that was that 2 years ago?
I was just thinking about this the other day. That's so weird.
That's giving me chills. Okay, but remember how in there she was like, there's a big collective shift happening.
Yes,
and we were
stepping into their spirituality.
Yes, yes. And she was like, just wait, like we're gonna see this big shift happening, big changes happening. And all of us in there were kind of like, okay, that's weird. We're really seeing it right now. And I think that was 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago?
At least something like that. Like
I can't. We're gonna have to ask the girls what we went with. But anyways, I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm really seeing this. These people are choosing themselves and like really focus like in regards to my work, they're really focusing on like their mental health and caring about themselves and leaving things that are no longer serving them. And like that's kind of what we're doing too. And so it's just really interesting that this huge like wave is happening.
Ooh, that's so creepy.
I know that psychic was legit.
I know. I was actually thinking I wanted to go back to her.
Yeah, she was good.
Okay, so I obviously am on like a big growth journey personally this year. So I have a couple questions that I'm going to share with you guys if you want to be on the same wavelength or you're kind of feeling the same pull of like I want to explore more growth or intentional things. So obviously you first should always find a word of the year. I truly believe
that
like
too.
you need something that's a purposeful, powerful, like sometimes it can be a statement or it can be multiple words or one word, but you should and like honestly just Google it. Like start looking at a bunch of different words or move your body like Taylor did to like find it. I found mine, I think I was listening to like oh my God.
What?
Now that you say this, I was doing a Peloton walk.
See, Peloton will save the world.
When I officially was like, holy shit, this is what's about to happen in
Was
my
it Maddie
year.
Majakamo?
No, it wasn't Maddie, but it was a Peloton instructor.
Oh
And
my
they said something and I was
gosh.
like, holy shit, this is what's going to happen in my life. And then I saw you that night and I was like, this is what I think is happening next year. It was a Peloton workout.
Peloton saves the world, you guys.
Down.
Everyone needs a Peloton.
Anyways, you find something that inspires you. It could be a podcast, hashtag ours, or probably not ours. But like moving your body, I think really is part of it. I was on a
Yeah.
walk. I had already been feeling stuff. I was walking, I was listening to the workout, and that's when I was like, holy shit. So it could be a meditation, it could be anything, but you should do something that, I don't know, puts you in a space where you're doing something just for yourself, I would
And
say.
something that you're present with your
Yeah.
body, because exercise, like moving your body, you're present with your body. Like if you're running, for example, your lungs are hurting, you're breathing heavier, you're tired, your brain's fighting you and telling you to stop. Like you are so present in your body through exercise. So I think that's a great time
Yeah.
because like you don't have really a distraction,
I
you
have a
know?
lot of like powerful thoughts in the shower, or I have a lot of powerful fucking thoughts and feelings on airplanes. I don't know what it is about an
You are
airplane.
an
I
airplane
will
girl.
always fucking cry on an airplane.
You are.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
And I think it really highlighted for me like in the last couple of years. Honestly, our 30th birthday was the first powerful airplane moment, and that's continued to progress. And like I have big, powerful like things where I'm like, holy shit, like this is how I feel. And there was a lot of years that I did nothing about how I felt, and now I'm like, it's how I fucking feel. Villain. Just kidding.
Bill and Anna.
Anyways, find your word, find a way to connect to it. The next questions I would have for you is what does happiness mean to you this year? So that was a big thing where I was like, am I actually happy? Like, I remember one year I had the word joy, and I did feel joy that year. And so it's interesting that joy was my word, but now I like look at where I'm at right now. I'm like, weird, confused. I don't fully understand it, but I think what's helpful is finding out what happiness means to you for this year. And then the next one is what is one thing you can let go of to make room for what you love? And I think that's super important because this year I'm making room for love for myself, baby.
Well, and that's what this full moon was bringing in this month.
Fuck this full moon, honestly.
I know.
I was crying for like a week straight.
I know. But it was about releasing. It was about letting go to make space for the new things. And that was literally all what this whole month of January was, is letting go.
Interesting. Another thing I have, which sorry, my throat got crunchy. I think we've kind of always been this way where we had like when we were setting goals or intentions, we were always trying to figure out something new or challenging. And so one of the questions is, what's one new thing you will try this year? Personally, for myself, I don't know if I have anything new that I'm going to try. I have stuff that I know that's new that I'm going to be doing, but try. Like, I think there was one year where we were like, we want to get out in the community more. We want to like start meeting new people. And that's when we started doing like the epic races and whatever. Like, we were like, okay, should we go to like social events? Like, we were trying to like really put ourselves out there. So think of it however you want to, but like, I really think you should always, it could be a hobby or maybe something you've always wanted to do and you never like had the balls to do it. But I think trying something new or coming up with something that like feels right for you, that's a good way to like have intention for your year because you should always be like putting yourself out of your comfort zone. And when I think of something new, it has to be out of your comfort zone, in my opinion. Like new wouldn't be like, I'm gonna try a new restaurant. Like, no, it should be new of like, this is gonna make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I have is some ideas to help you explore yourself. For me, a lot's changing this year. Like, I'm not ready to speak on it this episode. I probably will in like, I would say 2 weeks. In 2 episodes, you'll probably know more about it.
And we're being so like mysterious.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be one of those fucking people. I fucking hate people like that. But like, my year this year is going to be completely different than I've ever expected it to be. And so I think what's interesting and what I think you should also probably challenge yourself with, no matter what year or what phase you're going into, is like, what can you do to make life strides? Like, what can you do to make sure that you're living your most purposeful life? And I think that's kind of where we have always been on our self-development journey, where we're like, we want to like live this big, amazing, like fulfilled life. And it's like taken us tearing down and dealing with traumas and dealing with people in our lives. And like we've been like building and building and building, I think, for a long time. And we finally reached a place where I think we were comfortable, where we're like, cool. We're like chilling. And now we're like, fuck that. We like I feel like we literally grabbed the table and just like flipped it.
Yeah.
We're like literally like, okay, this is too boring. Like it's not enough. So I think like think about what could make your life feel like you're flipping it on the table in the most purposeful way to serve who you want to be or to like live the biggest and best life. If you're like us and you're turning a milestone birthday, I think that's a perfect time to start thinking about stuff like this. Like milestones to me usually happen on like a 5 or a 10 in my opinion, or like a 21st birthday, like something like that where it's like those, I don't know, you see like sashes because it's a certain number of birthday, you know, like think about it that way. But I think 10s and 5s for me have always felt like 20 was way more impactful than turning 19, even though I was like, I'm gonna buy cigarettes.
What the hell?
You didn't want to buy cigarettes? I thought that was gonna be so cool.
You bought, I've never bought cigarettes in my whole life.
The second it was midnight, I went and bought Prime Times.
Ew.
Which I've been craving Prime Times.
Oh my God, stop.
Prime Times are lit.
Ew.
Or a Camel Crush.
Ew.
Did you ever smoke one?
No, I've never smoked a cigarette ever.
Really?
I've smoked a joint, never a cigarette.
Damn.
Probably a joint's worse than a cigarette.
A cigar?
I've tried a cigar once.
Cigars are fucking weird.
Yeah, they're nasty, but cigarettes, ugh, no.
I smoked a cigar at your wedding and my mouth tasted like shit.
Ew. I forgot I had cigars at my wedding. Yeah. That was so strange.
Everyone was smoking them and I was like, I want to be someone that can
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. My lungs do not like smoke. Like they just, I don't really know how. I don't really know how to smoke. Like even when hookah was like a huge thing, I could never smoke a hookah because my lungs just don't like smoke.
Because you have a throat chakra problem.
Probably, but I do enjoy a joint though.
Does it fuck with your throat?
Yes, but I do enjoy it. I don't enjoy the throat situation, but I enjoy the high you get from a joint.
I don't even know how we got on this.
I don't either.
Oh, milestone birthdays.
Please do not start smoking again.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
No, that'd be so gross.
My hair would be so sad. Anyways, if you have a milestone birthday coming up, this is a great time that I think energetically too, the universe is also like, all right, we're taking it to the next level. So I think if you can find a way to get in tune with yourself or just kind of reflect on like what next chapter you want to have. Because honestly, from 30 till now, the birthdays are fucking stupid. Like if you have a milestone birthday, step into that power and then know that the next couple years are going to be building years, which is something I've kind of been thinking about a lot. Is like,
I like that.
You're going through it, like each birthday we're kind of like, yeah, I'm going to celebrate it, but it doesn't feel like these powerful milestone birthdays. And you're kind of, I think it's because you're dealing with a lot. You're building and you're changing and you're evolving in those chapters. And then you have your next milestone. It's like, okay, time for the next ladder. And so if you have one of those, I think that's a great way to, I don't know, explore more of like how you want this year to be for you. The next thing I would say is find a way to be accountable for what you want to do. We've always been very vocal about it. We'll share our goals online. We'll share it with people in our circles. And we're like, you and I are always pushing each other. If you don't have those same platforms or the same like scenarios, find some way. Like it's the same with like having a gym buddy. Like if you want to go to the gym, you need someone to hold you accountable, someone that helps get you there. So I'm sharing online. I'm about to tell you guys a lot about my life. I'm always willing to share those things because I know if I speak it and I don't fucking do it, as an Enneagram 1, I feel like the biggest piece of shit. Like I will never say, I'm going to do this thing and like never keep pushing towards it. Sure, the timeline might shift, but I'm always still going for it unless I say, all right, that was fucked. I was in a bad place. I don't know why I picked that. I would own that. But like real estate, for example, I know that I'm going to have real estate. I thought last year would be the year. I know that it's going to happen at some point, but right now things are not going to work out that way. And I'm still going to keep pushing towards it. So speak about these things, have people in your life talk about it in a way that you can hold yourself accountable to some degree. Otherwise, you'll just stop for sure. And then the last thing I would say is something we always have, and you have to change your mindset, and you have to be willing to like lean into that and have your gratitude and know that like a big thing for me right now is surrendering to the universe, which is uncomfortable, vulnerable, I guess. For me is like not trying to control everything. So I'm trying to have a mindset shift of like be grateful for everything, trust myself, trust whatever the universe is bringing and just like let it be rather than trying to have everything stacked and planned and like rigid like I normally would.
If you don't know growth mindset and fixed mindset,
Google it.
Yeah, Google it because if you have a fixed mindset, you can change it into a growth mindset with like a few little tweaks. But that's
hard.
It is hard.
If you're
Yeah.
a fixed mindset
It is
person,
hard.
it's really difficult.
But growth mindset and fixed mindset, basic psychology, it's like a very good foundational point to start at.
It's interesting too that like if you think about a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, you do this in every aspect. Some people can be a fixed mindset personally or a growth mindset at work and vice versa. And then some people can be only growth mindset or only fixed mindset. And so like I really encourage you guys to like research it, learn about both of them and like figure out are you like this personally? Are you like this professionally? Are you like this in both worlds? Like whatever it is. And then challenge yourself in each of them to be a growth mindset personally and professionally. Because a lot of people are super driven professionally and then fuck up their personal lives or vice versa. They're like thriving personally, but then they like don't give a fuck about work. And it's like you really have to be that way in both areas,
I agree.
I would say.
I agree. My last tip that I would give is my word last year was intentional. We've been doing words of the year since what, 2018, 2017? How long have we been on this like journey? A long time.
I don't even know.
I don't know either, but I've had a lot of words of the year. None of them changed my life as much as intentional did. And it could have just been that year. It could have been my birthday. I don't know. But the amount of times
was your birthday on a Friday?
No.
Okay.
It was a Saturday.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it was a Saturday because this year it's a Sunday because I want to do like a birthday brunch.
Okay.
Anyway, side note, if you want to come to my birthday brunch. Anyways, I came back to my word intentional so many times last year, and it was every single thing that I did. I think it also helped that I put my vision board in a place I saw it every single day. I put it right by my vanity that I get ready at in the morning. But I came back to that so many times. Like anything that I did, I was like, what is my intention with this? Like, or go into this with intention. And I made a lot of big changes last year. And I really credit it to being intentional with every single thing that I did. Even waking up in the morning, I woke up with an intention and it really transformed my life.
For me, I'm like big on my vision board digitally. Like I always have that as my wallpaper. I work on a computer every single day. And so at work, my computer background is my vision board. At home, my computer background is my vision board. I did make a physical one, which I loved, but fuck the cleaning ladies because it's behind my consoles behind us right now. I didn't get to make a physical one this year. I really wanted to, but I did update my digital one and it's been the same for it was the same for about 2.5 years, I would say. And then I just recently like updated it a little bit. It's still pretty similar, which I loved because I was like, okay, I'm still like headed on the same path. I still want the same things. But that was a huge reminder for me. And then another thing that I do is I have wallpapers on my phone that are also like reminding me of my power or reminding me of things. So I have one like this one's been here for fucking a long time. And I don't know, is this my home screen or my
your lock screen?
My lock screen has said, girl, you are a badass for years. Like, I would say at least 5 years it's been, girl, you are a badass. And it's still my, like, phrase. It's on my vision board right now digitally. And then when you unlock my phone, I have manifestation things that for, like, when I see angel numbers where I'm like, I'm abundantly wealthy. I'm a money magnet. Like, those types of things. So put them in your face wherever it is. It could be physically or digitally. You're always on your phone though, so I think like what you have is your lock screen.
Yeah. Do you want to know something nuts?
That's what lock screen and home screen I think are really important. What?
Look at what my lock screen is. I did not even realize this until you just said this. It was just a picture I found on Pinterest. I was changing like my lock screen because I had the same for so long it was bugging me. I did not even realize this until right this second.
No. What?
Trust the universe.
Girl.
Weird, huh? If you guys are watching on YouTube, it's just like a little beach and it says trust the universe. Like
I'll show you
it's
mine.
basic and
Literally been like this forever and I can't change it because I always want to remember I'm a badass. I've even thought like, should I tattoo this? I don't want to tattoo, but like that's how powerful this statement is to me that like no matter what I'm going through, I can look at my phone or I get a text or I'm like just like seeing what time it is. I'm like, hell yeah. And so figure out how you can channel whatever energy you're going into for the year. Vulnerable is on like written on my digital vision board, but I already like it's like ingrained in me at this point, but I probably want to put it somewhere else and I can't decide where yet. But I think it's powerful to like have them in your face.
yeah, I think so too.
Anything else? I spoke a lot. Do you have anything else
No,
to say?
I don't think that I do. I don't think that I do. Just like, welcome. This year's going to be a little crazy. That's fine.
You're in for some fun stuff.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
us.
yeah. So,
all right. Hashtag asking for a friend.
yes.
Hashtag asking for a friend. Do people really not wash their legs in the shower? They just think that the running down soap water is enough.
I've heard that people do this, that they think that's enough, and I cannot.
Do you wash your feet? The bottom of your feet?
Yes.
I don't wash the bottom of my feet.
What? Why?
Because I think I have the same theory for the bottom of my feet. There's so much happening on the bottom of my feet.
Girl.
Do you lift up your feet and scrub?
Of course.
I don't. I also rewire my socks though,
I
so
know.
I'm not concerned about my
This
feet.
actually is concerning. I'm just more concerned about your feet. I use a loofah.
Same.
And I
Some people
scrub.
don't like that though.
I know.
They
And
are dirty.
I could get that, but like what else do you use?
I'm not using my hand or a washcloth. I'm not washing that many washcloths.
Hey, I think like maybe loofahs have been around our whole life, but like growing up, we had like a bar of soap. It's the same fucking thing as a loofah. As a loofah? That sounds weird as I'm saying it. As a loofah, like your bar of soap has the same germs on it every time that you use it. Like
sometimes
that's gross.
On them too.
Ew. So I use like soap and a loofah, and I scrub every inch from the back of my neck all the way down to the tips of my toes. Everything is clean with the loofah.
Occasionally, I do clean the bottom of my feet, like if I know that they need to be cleaned.
Occasionally.
With the loofah. But otherwise, the water and the soap is cleaning them. My feet are not dirty.
Neither are mine, but they just need like a little scrub.
My feet don't. Your feet are drier than mine though.
My feet are. I have troll feet for
crusty
sure.
feet.
I know. My feet are disgusting. I could never make money off of feet.
She has crusty feet, so I
know I get really bad calluses.
I don't have that problem. Mine are like always. I mean, they can be like a little bit dry. I believe that the water and soap running down is fine for the bottom of my feet. The rest of my body, 100%, I wash my legs. But I have fucking long legs, and I'm telling you, it drives me nuts every time I shower to have to shave and then also loop up this whole leg. It's so long.
But like your feet are just there. Just do the loofah around them.
Lift them up.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
We're also going to do a poll about
what
this.
The hell? What in the actual hell?
And I will also ask about the feet.
Wow. Interesting.
But we should be more concerned about the people that don't wash their legs.
Yeah,
you have a feet problem. I think it's because you have troll feet.
I think so, but
thank you for wearing socks so I don't have to see them.
I get regular pedicures, okay? I don't know. I have really dry feet. Thanks for calling me out. My feet are not. I could never make money on Feet Finder ever. Actually, I probably could because people are into some sick shit.
Honestly, yeah, people are down for you. Because people are freaks, honestly.
People are probably down for your non-scrub feet as well.
If you are someone that doesn't clean your legs, though, you should clean your legs.
Yeah, the soap running down is not enough.
And you should also exfoliate your legs.
Absolutely.
And your butt cheeks. It's good to exfoliate your butt cheeks.
And like with a salt scrub. Trader Joe's makes good ones.
There you have it.
Yep. And they're cheap.
I think that's all she wrote.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in.
Enjoy 2025 with us.
Yeah. Keep us posted on your journey. Go vote on our polls. Yeah. Let us know your words. I love hearing your words.
Hold yourself accountable by sharing your word of the year with us.
Yeah.
And I'll post a little box so you can share it.
Yes.
And yeah.
Okay.
Until next time, peace out.
Bye.
Bye.